Sylvia Brown predicted that 2026 would be the year luck stops being random and begins to favor certain signs. The question is, will yours be among them? The voice that follows is equal parts seer and guide, warm but authoritative, as if reading from an old, weathered page and handing you a key. Stay with me through this entire forecast, and if you want more updates like this, subscribe now so you won't miss the signs that could change everything for you. The late Sylvia Brown left a body of work that many still turn to when they want a map for uncertain times. What she left behind are not guarantees, but possibilities, patterns, windows, and invitations. In what she wrote about 2026, a handful of zodiac signs are described as poised to shine in ways that go beyond luck. Timings align, inner readiness meets external openings, and momentum gathers. Keep in mind, prophecy points to doors opening. You must still step through. None of this replaces professional advice for money, health, or legal matters. Consult an expert when those stakes appear. Aries, the year you turn fire into momentum. This is the year Aries converts impulse into sustained forward motion. Sylvia Brown hinted that the ram's flame will find steady fuel in 2026, especially in moments when courage meets strategy. Expect momentum that surprises you. It starts as a spark, then becomes a current you can ride. Career and finances. Opportunities arrive as doors rather than jackpots. Early to mid-year, you'll encounter proposals that reward bold, decisive action. January opens conversations. March and April are prime for pitching ideas. And the second half of the year, especially July through September, offers the chance to solidify gains into stable foundations. These are the months to present, lead, and accept responsibility. Caution, impulsive leaps without solid follow-through could burn bridges. Think of this as a season for launching with planning attached. Relationships and emotion. In love and partnerships, Aries experiences movement more than transformation. New connections formed in late spring, May-June, have the ability to surprise you with emotional depth if you show up consistently. For existing relationships, the summer months test stamina. The heat of July and August can reveal who's willing to match your intensity. Temper pride with empathy. The charge to lead is balanced by the need to listen. Health and energy. Your energy will be high but uneven. Periods of intense productivity will be followed by low dips if you ignore recovery. Watch for burnout signals in April and again in October. Short, consistent rest practices will be more effective than long, interrupted breaks. Action step. Submit that bold proposal in March-April, then schedule a mandatory recovery day every 3 weeks starting in June. Timing highlight. Act aggressively in March-April. Consolidate gains July-September. Sylvia Brown noted that when a small flame learns to plan, it becomes impossible to ignore. The ram in 2026 is learning to plan. Taurus, the year Earth reaps what it has nurtured. Taurus will feel the earth move beneath its feet, gently at first, then with unmistakable momentum. Sylvia Brown's notes suggest a year of harvest for many Taurians. Slow, patient growth reaches visible results. Career and finances. Key windows appear in April and May, when long-term projects show signs of fruition. October acts as a second harvest. Contracts, royalties, or delayed payments could arrive. This is not a year for reckless gambles. Investments in craftsmanship, reputation, or steady revenue streams are favored. If you've been saving, consider allocating funds toward professional support in May. That hiring decision could multiply returns by autumn. Relationships and emotion. Emotional rewards mirror financial ones. The patience you've shown in relationships pays off. New romantic momentum is likely in late spring. Stabilizing conversations in September can turn casual bonds into committed partnerships. Watch for possessiveness. Security is earned by trust, not control. Health and energy. Taurus must resist inertia. Strength training and outdoor routines in April-June will increase resilience for the busier months ahead. Pay attention to low-grade stress in October. It's a signal you've been carrying responsibility solo for too long. Action step. Finalize long-term financial plans in April. Hire a trusted advisor or consultant in May. Timing highlight. April to May is the most fertile window. October consolidates rewards. Sylvia Brown's whisper for Taurus was practical. Tend what you have loved long enough, and the field will answer. Gemini, the year your voice finds its stage. For Gemini, 2026 is about amplification. Conversations, platforms, and agreements move from private possibility to public opportunity. If you've been waiting for people to finally hear you, this may be your year. Career and finances. April through June are the months when your ideas gain traction. Networking and visible speaking engagements yield concrete outcomes, bookings, collaborations, or freelance opportunities. Be mindful, the speed of communication can create missteps. Tighten contracts and ask clarifying questions before agreements are signed. A second spike in November helps consolidate any scattered gains into a sustained position. Relationships and emotion. This is a year of clarity in relationships. Misunderstandings clear in late spring if you prioritize direct, compassionate conversation. New connections sparked around May have a high chance to become meaningful if grounded with follow-up. Emotionally, you'll feel lighter when you express rather than internalize. Health and energy. Energy levels peak in early summer. Use that period for focused work and creative bursts. Moderate routines help manage the quick shifts in attention that typify the year.
Guard against overstimulation in September, when the pace may threaten sleep and digestion. Action step. Pitch your project or speak publicly between April and June, then document agreements carefully. Timing highlight. April-June is your stage. Be prepared and precise. A brief Sylvia Browne aside for Gemini. When words become plans, doors unlatch. Cancer. The year you build a sanctuary that reaches out. 2026 asks Cancer to translate inner security into outward movement. This is a year where the home you've been quietly renovating, emotionally, physically, financially, begins to function as a base for broader influence. Career and finances. January starts with strong foundations. Investments in property, family businesses, or home-based ventures show promise. May and September are highlight months for partnerships that anchor your work. Income increases are possible when you align professional choices with personal values. Keep legal or contractual matters checked by professionals. Big decisions in April and October benefit from counsel. Relationships and emotion. Emotional deepening is the theme. Relationships that have felt fragile can find new resilience with honest, grounded conversations in late spring. For singles, summer, June to August, offers possibilities for deeply compatible matches. For those committed, September is a month for healing old wounds and recommitting. Health and energy. Because your focus leans homeward, be wary of neglecting your circulatory and digestive systems under stress. Gentle routines, coastal walks, evening rituals will replenish your rhythm. Watch mid-year for fatigue if you overextend to support others. Action step. Prioritize foundational conversations and legal reviews in April. Invest in home or base improvements in January. Timing highlight. January, May, and September are especially supportive. Sylvia Browne's notation for Cancer was tender. What is nurtured inwardly begins to shelter outwardly. Leo, the year you step into the spotlight, responsibly. Leos encounter a rare alignment, creative visibility paired with the kind of structure that makes recognition sustainable. This is not just applause, it's the sort of standing ovation that brings new responsibilities and earnings. Career and finances. Spring offers auditions, showcases, and leadership opportunities. March to May are vital. A surge in confidence in June and again in November can lead to positions that require both charisma and discipline, board roles, creative directorships, or public-facing leadership. Financial rewards are likely when you trade spectacle for systems, monetize sustainably. Relationships and emotion. Romantic energy intensifies in late spring and again around October. Pride can be a double-edged sword. Generosity and authenticity win more than spectacle. Platonic relationships form a safety net, especially those forged during collaborative creative projects in July. Health and energy. You'll feel radiant, but the year asks for steadiness. Peak months, June, July, demand attention to sleep and vocal health for performers and speakers. Creative burnout is a real risk. Build recovery into your calendar. Action step. Launch or showcase in March to May, but pair that launch with a concrete business plan. Timing highlight. March to May is your launch window. November is for cementing achievements. Short Sylvia Browne punctuation for Leo. Light that builds structure lasts longer. Virgo, the year precision turns into progress. Virgos receive a year where method meets window. Meticulous planning finally meets favorable timing. This is a year for finishing what you began and for refining processes that multiply results. Career and finances, early spring is helpful for audits, restructuring, or launching streamlined services. April and May are especially effective months to present refined proposals or to implement systems that save time and increase margins. A career inflection point may occur in September when consistent attention to detail becomes visible to decision makers. Avoid obsession with perfection that delays action. Relationships and emotion.
Relationships benefit from your reliability. Small acts of consistency, showing up, returning calls, clear follow-through, matter more than grand gestures. September rewards sustained care. Late autumn is good for setting new routines with partners. Health and energy, mental load can be heavy. Organize your life to reduce decision fatigue. Micro rests and boundary setting in June will protect your productivity in the busier months. Watch hands, nerves, and digestion for stress-related complaints and treat them proactively. Action step. Implement process improvements in April to May and request key reviews in September. Timing highlight, April to May for execution, September for recognition. A brief Sylvia Browne line for Virgo. Order attended to becomes the skeleton of success. Pause and reflect for a moment. The first 6 signs we've encountered share a pattern. Early months act as invitation points, moments to pitch, to plant, to refine. Spring seems to be a primary season of activation across the board. The second half of the year consolidates and tests. This is exactly the dynamic Sylvia Browne sketched, a year that opens doors but expects people to walk through them with care. If you're taking notes, you'll already see the recurring advice. Act during the highlighted months, pair bold moves with structure, and protect your energy. Many viewers will feel relief, others will feel pressure. That's the tension at the heart of 2026. Opportunity is visible, but it is not passive. Before we go further, a brief reminder. These readings are interpretive. Sylvia Browne's predictions suggest patterns and potentials. They do not guarantee outcomes. For decisions that involve legal, medical, or significant financial commitments, consult a professional.
We'll pick back up now and meet the signs that carry the next phase of this prophecy: the leaders, the menders, the innovators, and the dreamers. The year ahead is thick with possibility, but the clearest paths are those walked with planning, counsel, and courage. Libra, the year you craft harmony that opens doors. For Libra, 2026 is about turning balance into momentum. The scales no longer weigh what you must give versus receive. They begin to tip in your favor when you choose fairness that also protects your interests. Career and finances. Spring brings clear advances. February through April open negotiation windows where compromise becomes leverage. Contracts discussed in March can translate into tangible assignments by June. A secondary wave in September-October can bring bonus payments or renewed terms that reflect the value you quietly built. Avoid giving away equity or taking on partners without clear lines. Use the spring negotiations to set boundaries that protect your upside. Relationships and emotion. This is a year to refine the quality of your alliances. March to May favors reconciliations and new friendships that expand your influence. If you're single, genuine chemistry shows up in late spring. For committed Libras, summer invites deeper collaboration rather than drama. Beware people-pleasing tendencies in October. Balance kindness with honest limits. Health and energy. Your nervous system responds to harmony. Mindful practices in February and June will keep stress from accumulating. Watch tension in the shoulders and jaw during busy negotiation weeks. Simple stretching or a regular breathing pause will save you energy later. Action step: enter negotiations with a non-negotiable list in March. Schedule decision checkpoints rather than relying on charisma alone. Timing highlight: February through April for deals, September-October to consolidate gains. A short Sylvia Browne note for Libra. When fairness is paired with firmness, doors that once creaked open swing wide. Scorpio, the year you turn depth into influence. Scorpio's 2026 theme is translation. The interior work you've done becomes external leverage. Secrets, reservoirs of skill, and quiet persistence begin to surface as assets rather than burdens. Career and finances. The first quarter plants seeds. January and February set intentions and secret negotiations. March to May is when discreet conversations can materialize into leadership roles or specialized consultancy offers. June and November are timing peaks for strategic investments or decisions about long-term commitments. Treat them with sober assessment. Avoid impulsive revenge moves against past lights. The year rewards measured strategy, not retribution. Relationships and emotion. Deepening occurs through honest disclosures. The late spring months are favorable for revealing truths that heal and bind people closer. For those seeking partnership, July through September may present a profound match if you're willing to show vulnerability. Guard against jealousy in October. Transformation requires trust, not control. Health and energy. Your vitality improves when you convert emotional intensity into creative or physical outlets. Night routines matter. Improve sleep hygiene in May to ride the summer's waves of activity. Watch for stress-related immune dips in late autumn and act early to protect yourself. Action step:
Share one meaningful truth or professional capability in April-May that sets the stage for a public role, then allocate time for rest in June. Timing highlight: March-May for emergence, June and November for strategic decisions. Sylvia Browne's short punctuation for Scorpio: depth, when revealed with care, becomes a lever for destiny. Sagittarius, the year your long view finds traction. Sagittarius sees 2026 as a map that finally matches the territory. Big ideas you've carried for years acquire practicality and forward motion, opportunity for travel, study, or expansion that feeds both spirit and pocket. Career and finances. February through April favors proposals with scope, grants, partnerships with international reach, or new offerings that broaden your market. June may test your patience with logistical snags, but perseverance pays in September when several threads come together. Be wary of overcommitment. Narrowing to 2 top priorities will be more lucrative than spreading yourself thin. Relationships and emotion. Connections expand through shared projects. Spring activities bring friends who become collaborators. Summer travel or joint experiences deepen bonds. Romantic sparks that begin in April-May have the chance to grow when you follow up with practical plans. Health and energy. Mobility fuels you. Build strength work into your routine in March to support busy travel or project periods. Watch for uneven attention to diet while excited by big plans. Simple, regular meals help sustain momentum. Action step. Pitch an expansion idea between February and April. Commit to 2 realistic deliverables by September. Timing highlight: February through April for launches, September for integration. A brief Sylvia Browne note for Sagittarius: when a long view is paired with steady steps, horizons contract into reachable plains. Capricorn, the year structure becomes your launchpad. Capricorn enters 2026 with the quiet advantage of preparation. Systems you've built are ready to bear weight. This year asks you to convert endurance into visible leadership. Career elevation is possible if you take strategic chances. Career and finances. January begins with administrative clarity. Use the month to clear loose threads. March-May are powerful months for promotion, restructuring, or initiating projects that require discipline. A key consolidation moment occurs in October when long-term plans can receive institutional approval.
Be cautious with debt or speculative investments in July. Prefer trusted, incremental growth. Relationships and emotion. Your seriousness attracts partners who appreciate stability. Deep conversations in April and September can define long-term trajectories. Make space for spontaneity in June to prevent emotional distance. Your reliability is admired, but warmth keeps connections alive. Health and energy. Energy will feel steady when you maintain routine. Prioritize sleep and a consistent movement practice in February-June to support the busy phases of the year. Monitor signs of overwork in November and plan recuperation. Action step. Propose the next level plan or promotion in March to May. Create a 6-month recovery protocol for after intense work periods. Timing highlight: March to May for advancement, October to cement institutional gains. Sylvia Browne's close for Capricorn. Structure, when made flexible, becomes the stage for achievement. Aquarius, the year ideas move from ideal to implementation. Aquarius experiences a shift from concept to application. Innovations and networks begin to generate tangible outcomes. What was once visionary now needs the scaffolding of execution. Career and finances. March through June is a creative laboratory. Pilot projects, collaborations, and tech-enabled launches are favored. Be meticulous with contracts in April. Protect intellectual property and formalize partnerships. A second window in November helps scale pilots into sustainable models. Financially, identify one stream to professionalize rather than chasing novelty. Relationships and emotion. Group dynamics bring allies this year. Networking in late spring yields contacts who may become collaborators. Romantic connections formed in June-July feel nodal, connected to larger life aims rather than casual flirtations. Maintain personal boundaries in August when group pressures heighten. Health and energy. Your mental bandwidth is precious. Guard it during concentrated creative sprints in May. Grounding practices and short digital fasts will protect clarity. Pay attention to tension headaches and irregular sleep cycles during launches. Action step. Formalize one pilot project between March and June. Create a simple contract template to use with collaborators. Timing highlight: March to May for piloting, November to scale.
A short Sylvia Browne aside for Aquarius. When ideas meet structure, communities become engines. Pisces, the year intuition finds form. For Pisces, 2026 asks the imagination to learn the grammar of reality. Intuitive leaps find practical translation if you attend to timing and accountability. Career and finances, January and February are months to map intentions. Creative proposals conceived then can gain traction in May and June. September may bring offers that ask you to translate dream into deliverable. Use that time to partner with those who have complementary skills.
Avoid vague agreements. Insist on deliverables and schedules when money is involved. Relationships and emotion. Emotional sensitivity becomes a leadership asset. Deep bonds formed in spring may require clearer boundaries as the year moves on. For singles, summer can offer soulful connections. For those committed, October is a month for renewing shared purpose. Health and energy. Protect energy by setting small, daily rituals, walking, journaling, or creative practice that ground your sensitivity. Beware of escape tendencies in busier months. Structure will amplify, not diminish, your creative output. Action step. Develop a concrete collaboration plan for a creative project in May-June and assign one logistical partner to handle schedules. Time and highlight. May-June for visibility, September for offers. Sylvia Browne's whisper for Pisces. When intuition wears a schedule, the dream walks into daylight. Pause to breathe in the pattern. The second half of the Zodiac carries themes of emergence, structure, innovation, and translation. Spring is emphatically the season of initiation across signs, while summer and fall offer the crucible where plans are tested and consolidated. Sylvia Browne's notes echo a single refrain. Doors will open, but they require feet willing to walk forward. Who shines brightest in 2026? The question in the title deserves a clear answer, and here the prophecy draws a distinct constellation. Based on Sylvia Browne's emphasis on alignment between inner readiness and external timing, a handful of signs appear most consistently poised to receive amplified opportunity, those whose natural rhythms match the year's windows and whose character traits line up with practical openings. Sylvia Browne singled out 5 signs that seem especially favored: Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Leo, and Capricorn. Each of these signs carries a particular alignment that makes 2026 feel like a stage lit for them. Aries is poised to shine because the year's tempo rewards decisive initiation. When courage pairs with strategy, especially in March, April, and July, September, Aries finds momentum that turns into lasting motion rather than scattered bursts. The ram's willingness to step forward when doors open will translate into visible leadership and concrete gains. Taurus is favored because the season of harvest aligns with the steady, patient work Taurians have already completed. April, May, and October act as harvest windows where long-term investments, reputation building, and careful financial choices produce noticeable returns. Taurus's natural capacity for persistence meets timing that multiplies payoff. Gemini shine comes from amplification. Ideas and voice find a stage in April, June, and again in November, turning conversation into contracts. Where Gemini has prepared intellectual groundwork and networking bridges, 2026 provides the platform for visibility and measurable advancement. Leo is illuminated by the rare combination of creative visibility and sustainable structure. March, May, and November offer chances to turn applause into organized, revenue-producing roles. Leo's capacity to lead publicly, when paired with discipline, positions the sign for elevated status and financial reward. Capricorn is favored because the year rewards systems and endurance. March-May's momentum and October's institutional confirmations make 2026 a year where steady preparation finally receives institutional recognition. Capricorns who step into leadership roles with strategic caution can see plans translate into legacy-building outcomes. It's important to stress that shining brightest is not a literal guarantee. It is a way to describe intensified alignment between inner work, timing windows, and external opportunity. Other signs will also experience meaningful breakthroughs in 2026. The entire chart carries pockets of light for everyone, but these 5 show the strongest alignment in Sylvia Browne's notes, where momentum, harvest, voice, visibility, and structure intersect most clearly. Practical golden rules to claim your moment. 1. Clarify one core goal now. Write it down and break it into 3 concrete steps you can execute during your sign's highlighted months. Goals without steps are wishes dressed in optimism. 2. Schedule decision checkpoints in the months named for your sign. Use March-May for launches, June to August for testing, September to October for consolidation, December for celebration and recalibration. 3. Protect your energy like a professional asset. Build micro-rests, delegate tasks that drain you, and set simple boundaries during busy windows. 4. Seek professional counsel for high-stakes choices. If a legal contract, major investment, or medical decision appears in your path, consult the relevant expert before you act. 5. Keep integrity central. When luck increases, reputation becomes the multiplier that preserves results. Avoid short-term wins that compromise long-term standing. A short reminder about limits and responsibility. Sylvia Browne's predictions offer patterns and possible windows of favor. They are interpretive, not definitive. Use them as prompts to plan, not as substitutes for professional advice in legal, medical, or financial matters. If you're wondering what to do next, here's a simple checklist to begin today. Clarify one primary objective for 2026, identify the months in which your sign is strongest, block time on your calendar for decisive action in those months, secure one trusted advisor or accountability partner, and schedule regular recovery days to protect momentum. Now, a final word in Sylvia Browne's spirit. The year ahead is thick with doors. Some will barely crack, others will open wide. Prophecy tells us where hinges are oiled, but it asks us in return to walk through with courage and discretion. The luck of 2026 favors those who are ready and who steward advantage with care.
If this forecast resonated, tell me your sign and one word you intend to carry into 2026 in the comments below. Let the community hold that intention with you. Like this video if you found it helpful, and subscribe for weekly astrological insights and future retrospectives on Sylvia Browne's work. Walk into 2026 with eyes open and feet ready. This could be a year when opportunity stops knocking and waits for you at the threshold.